Atlantic 2000 series. This video is going to be on the vehicles, and if you want to check them out up close, at the end of course I'll do as always, you know, with the close-up spinning around thing. And for this video, some of these were actually mint still on sprue, and I had to take them off. It was kind of painful, but it's worth it in the end, because I mean I wanted to put them together to show you guys how they look. It's not fun to have just stuff on sprues, right? But anyways, I think it's going to be a fun little video, so let's just get started. All right, let's see what we got here. First, I figure I'll start with the boats. And then first of all, you have the, oh wait a minute, sorry, this one. The landing craft and Jeep, it says. That looks more like, I think they're called GMC weapons carrier, right? So very nice as always, box art on these. 2 military vehicles. And then on the back you kind of get the hint that maybe the vehicle, the car, is not that great. But yeah, let's see. So this is what you get. I got this one in a really funky light green color, and it's a little bit mix of parts just to make a set complete. Looks okay, details are okay. Of course, the vehicle is terrible, but it's Atlantic, so you know, we all know what we get these days. Yeah, you barely get the vehicle out of there, and the wheels doesn't really move. But anyways, yeah, kind of okay, I guess. I think I'd be pretty disappointed with this as a kid, and this would probably go to whoever, you know, if I was playing alone or with a friend, I would probably try to lend this to my friend that was the enemy, or just play this like an enemy vehicle. But the landing craft I think is pretty cool. Probably works well with putting some kneeling soldiers in here about to disembark. Funny thing though, it's the same size as the Airfix 1/72 HO scale landing craft. I also have it in a different color. You know, per usual with Atlantic, they made almost all their sets in different colors for some reason. I didn't put this one together though right now. So, but anyways, yeah, it's kind of cool. At least as an adult collector. As a kid, I would ditch the car and just use the landing craft. Next boat is the Coastal Patrol. Small little boat. It says 2 military vehicles. Then on the back, there's not two military vehicles. There's one boat and one gun. Maybe like an anti-aircraft gun. And they look like this. First little boat. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be though. Are these like, not rockets, what do you call them? Torpedoes. Underwater on a small boat like this? I'm not sure, but 2 motors. Someone painted the flag, Italian colors. I'm not sure what this figure is doing. He's not driving the boat. He's shooting a flare gun, it looks like. Looks like he needs to take a pee. Or maybe the boat just have poor ergonomics, and that's how you have to sit to actually drive it. And then we have this one, the gun. This guy also is not doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's praising some higher power, I think. He's not firing this gun because he's not holding his hand on the handles. But cool anyways. You got a little radar disc, and you got the tub for the ammunition. You got a little shield plate. Decent details also on the boat. I think the details are really nice. You know, you got the checker pattern in here, and you got a little bit rougher area up on top here. So this looks pretty cool. Yeah, I think for this set, if I was a kid, I would just use the gun. I probably wouldn't use the boat. At least I'd take these things off and just play it like a small, you know, coastal patrol, like they said. Next thing we could check out is this one, the helicopter and rocket. And it says 2 military vehicles. And there's actually only one vehicle, but it states on the cover, of course, that it's a rocket in there. These are kind of okay. The helicopter is kind of underwhelming, but doing some research, I actually found out that the Germans at the end of the war, late war, experimented with helicopters on submarines for surveillance, surface surveillance. So it's not that far away from that actually. The driver looks cool. Details are okay. Looks kind of dorky though, right? But the rocket is really nice. The color is terrible, of course, this light blue. And these are kind of hard to paint and get the paint to stick. But if you do a good base coat though. Nice detail, a lot of rivets on this one. And you can pull it up and down. So yeah, this one, I don't know if I'd use the helicopter when I was a kid. The rocket for sure though. Rockets are always cool, right? So yeah, not bad. And now we're getting into the real Atlantic weirdo territory. This is an artillery tractor. I'm not sure if this designation is the same as for, it says Klein, which I mean is small, right? So it's a small tractor. Is this a Kettenkrad or not? But anyways, it says one military vehicle, and you got the instructions on the back. And then you look at the vehicle itself. Compared to the driver, it's not a Kettenkrad, and you compare it to the Schwimmwagen, it's huge. So very strange vehicle, but it's really nice though. This is really good playable stuff. And if you have more soldiers, you could put them on the benches in the back here. Or maybe if you had other soldiers. So that is kind of nice. And it's got a little tow hook here, so you can actually put the artillery tub anti-air thing on it and tow it, which is kind of cool. I like that. But other than that, again, machine gun pointing straight at the driver, as per usual. Details on the running gear is good. The rest is kind of basic, but it's a nice little piece. And this one I would have loved as a kid. I think it's really cool. And you know, take the driver up, put it hull down, like this. Nice. So yeah, let's keep up the theme with weird choices for size and scale. Ambulance looks like a GMC weapons carrier again. One military vehicle on the back. It does not look like the front. And in real life, it doesn't look like it at all. It looks like this. Very cramped little vehicle. And this is the Jeep. And you compare the two, the scale is kind of crazy. But there's a lot of good details on this one though. I like the antenna and the little, just little everything on this one. The front, you can open the back here. It's very cramped back there. You got the wounded guy on his stretcher. It's been on there a while because, you know, he left marks on it. It doesn't look too happy either. And then you got this guy that's supposed to care for him, but it looks like he broke his leg. I'm not sure. Driver is hard to get out also. Once he's in there, you have to actually take the whole body off of it from the chassis. But it's kind of cool. It's just a playable little vehicle, and it actually rolls and moves, which is much appreciated. This one I would have used for sure as a kid, even though it's kind of a funky, weird size. I like it. And now we're getting to the real good stuff. The Commando Jeep. I don't know why it's a Commando Jeep, but it is. If it says on the box, it is. One military vehicle on the back. And the vehicle itself looks super awesome. 4 soldiers in the set. Oops, the machine gun came off. Put it back. There we go. So this is loaded. It's got 2 machine guns, it's got a radio, it's got spare tire, it's got a jerry can back here. And windshield folds, a lot of details. The size looks, it's a little bit too big to be a Willys Jeep, I think, compared to the soldiers. But other than that, it's really cool. The sad thing is, or not sad thing, but you know, it's a shame that the tow hook is so high, so you can't really put the, yeah, I guess you can, but it looks weird. But at least you can pull the gun with it as well, so you can actually put these together. And this, I think this is my favorite out of these in this series. This would have been fun to have as a kid, to drive around in and play with. Really cool. And if you're like my son and you always play the bad guys, he always wants to be the Empire in Star Wars, and he wants to be the Germans when we play computer games and board games. But anyways, this is fun. German amphibian Jeep, okay? So it's not a Jeep, because that's the other thing, is a Jeep. It's a name, but it says Schwimmwagen, so it looks cool on the cover and on the box art, I mean. And I think it looks even better, because it looks kind of weird in the front. It looks even better in real life. It's a very nice toy, I think. You get a lot of soldiers with it, a lot of little details on it. The wheels spin nicely so you can actually play with it properly. Yeah, this is really cool. Figures look really nice. You can actually pretend that these guys are almost shooting. It's more like a gangster drive-by the way they hold their weapons. But yeah, it looks good. Of course, driver is doesn't have his hands on the wheel as always, but this is very cool. And then the last one, and probably the most detailed, I think, out of all these, the BMW with the sidecar. Very nice instructions. You can tell that this is going to be a little bit more difficult to build than the other ones, and it was, but it's holding together fairly well. And there's a lot of cool stuff on here with the bags and everything, and 2 different seats, and yeah, it looks really, really cool. It's got stars on it in the front. I don't know why they would put stars on there, but maybe, yeah, this is a later mod from maybe Elton John or something. This was his personal post-war motorcycle. Anyways, yeah, soldiers look really cool, and I think the scale is kind of proper for 1/32 scale, and he's got his hands on the handlebars like most of the other soldiers. So this is a very nice little cool little piece that I like a lot. But anyways, yeah, that's these. If you want to check them out up close, you know, I do the spinning thing like I said, and hopefully I catch you guys in another video. Cheers.